Have you found yourself feeling stuck as if you are stalling dead in your tracks? Well, what if I told you feeling stuck is not a detour? It's actually part of the route. Yes, and I know we've been convinced that if we just work harder and push through and stay consistent, then feeling stuck would never find us. Well, friend, we already know that that's not true because I've tried it. I've worked harder and pushed through, and yet and still found myself completely stuck at times. And truth be told, all of that working harder and pushing through, it just keeps us performing and producing for everybody else. But feeling stuck is not actually asking you to do more for everybody else. It's asking you to pause and go within. And that is exactly where all of your answers always are, patiently waiting for you. So, let's talk about what to do when you feel stuck in any area of your life. And it starts with going within. Ooh, let's get into it, okay? When I originally started working on this episode, I was just going to focus in on the growth aspect of our journey because we're high performers and I know that we have goals that we are focused in on achieving. But the more that I thought about it, the more that I realized stuck has no problem showing up in every and any area of our lives. Stuck does not mind showing up in your career, in your relationships, in your decision making. It does not have a problem showing up anywhere in your life. So, we are going to address this from every which way because it has no problem showing up welcome or unwelcomed. And what do we do when we feel stuck? A lot of times we just shift into overdrive and we start producing and performing even more. We start doing new things and further extending ourselves, pulling ourselves in so many directions when really feeling stuck is a signal. And it is not a signal to look for answers outside of ourselves, which is so many times the first place that we decide to go. It's to the group chat, it's to whoever that sage person is in your life with all of the wisdom. We start looking outside of ourselves. And one of the last places we think to go is within. And that is exactly where your answers reside. You always know what's best for you. And when you feel like you don't, that is your signal to get still and go within. I love to remind my clients so many times we get stuck in our head when really all of our answers are in our hearts. So when you find yourself feeling stuck, the very first thing to do is to take a pause for the cause and connect to your heart. Just feels so good, don't it? The woman who learns how to read that signal and interpret it in a positive way is the woman who does not fear being stuck forever because you actually go from surviving it to navigating it. And that is the key difference. Stuck is a signal. And even though it'll stir up some feelings, it's uncomfortable, you might feel discouraged, you might feel lost. All of those things are a signal that's really pointing you back to yourself. So don't feel bad if you're feeling stuck, lost, or discouraged. It's really just an invitation inviting you to go within. I know when you're feeling stuck, it just feels like you're standing still, like you're not moving, you're stagnant. But feeling stuck is still a part of the moving forward process. It's actually a big part of it because it's in this space that you can disconnect from all of the movement and reconnect back to yourself. Kind of think of it like your phone when it updates. Are you impatient when your phone is updating, by the way? Because sometimes I'm watching the little counter and it's like, oh, you have, this many minutes. And if the minutes go up and down, listen, I'm stressed because I want my phone back, okay? That's kind of like what stuck feels like to me. I want the update, but can we do this quickly, please? Quickly now, quickly. So, in this space of feeling stuck, like nothing is happening, there is something stirring within. There is an update happening. And we love to ask ourselves, how do I get unstuck? But we can actually be asking ourselves much better questions to point us in the right direction. So, when you ask a question and you still feel like you don't have an answer, that is a signal to ask a better question. So, in this case, the better question is, what is this stuck moment asking me to see in myself? Because there is something here. There is a reason why you have been asked to pause and check in with yourself again. So, what is this stuck moment asking you to see? I know that question can feel really loaded. So, here is four things to help you with processing through the answer to that question. Number one, get really honest with yourself about what type of stuck this actually is. Because not all stuck is the same, but as soon as you can identify which type it is, that usually helps to lead you to your solution. So, do you find yourself stuck in fear? Meaning you know what to do, you're just terrified to actually do it. Like you know that it's time for you to find another job, but you're afraid of actually doing that. Or do you find yourself stuck in burnout where you've just been so busy making everybody else's world go round that there ain't nothing left over for you? So, are you burned out? Or do you find yourself stuck in misalignment because you have been so busy performing and producing for everybody else that you've gotten so disconnected from yourself that you lost yourself within that process? So pause and really ask yourself, what is this stuck that you are in? And allow yourself to freely explore this without shame and no shade, okay? And that leads me into the second thing I want you to do. I really want you to be the observer and notice the pattern because, friend, so many times you've been stuck before, and maybe you've been stuck in a similar place multiple times, and you learned some wisdom from that. So, does your stuck have a pattern that you see yourself playing this role on repeat? And if so, what is the wisdom that you can learn from that? Because your history, your experience, you have learned some things, okay, friend? And a lot of times we don't give ourselves credit for lessons learned. So, check in with yourself and see if there's a pattern here. Be okay with observing yourself. Again, no shade, no shame, and no judgment because none of us are perfect. We've all made mistakes that we've had to learn from. And I guarantee you, those lessons learned led you exactly to who you are today. And we love her, okay? We love her. So, go easy on yourself. This is not a place to give yourself a hard time. This is a place to meet yourself with love and grace. But be okay with taking a step back and observing yourself, recognizing if there's a pattern here and what are the lessons that you can learn from those patterns. The next step is to change one input from the inside out. Okay, friend, here's what I mean by this. Because sometimes when you find yourself feeling stuck, you ready to just do a whole overhaul on your life. You are ready to just throw everything away and start from scratch. But that is only going to create overwhelm, confusion, and even some chaos, okay? We don't need none of that, friend. So just change one thing. Maybe there is one decision you need to make, or one boundary you need to set. Or maybe this is just the time to pause and go within and figure out what is it that you need right now during this season of your life. So change just one thing. You will be amazed at the ripple effect making one move can actually have. The ripple effect can affect so many different areas of your life. You don't need a complete overhaul to see some different results and movement within what you're doing. So, let's not create a bunch of confusion and chaos. Instead, we're going to change one thing and let it do its thing. Okay? Okay. Now, this next invitation, friend, this might be my favorite and the one that you may love or hate the most. But I invite you to get some rest. Mm-hmm. Yep. I invite you to rest and recalibrate because so many times we will pack our schedule and make ourselves so busy so that we don't have to deal with ourselves. And it does you such a disservice in the long run not to have rest and recalibration as a part of your normal flow, excuse me. It is so important to just rest, not to just be on 24/7. When you rest, you allow yourself to disconnect. You allow yourself to rejuvenate and really set yourself back at neutral so that you can gain your strength again and reconnect to your own sense of power. So get some rest, have some quiet time where you can just be and not be on for everybody. Okay. Ooh, that kind of, you see a little flow right there. Okay. I like that. So allow yourself the time to rest so that you can actually hear yourself. You know what is best for you. I love it when my clients say, I don't know, because I always remind them, yes, you do know. You do. You just haven't paused long enough to hear yourself. Again, your answers, they're in here, they're in your heart. So it is time for you to actually rest, pause, so that you can connect and hear yourself again. Because, friend, I guarantee you, every answer that you need, it's not out there, it's in here. So every time you feel stuck, the answer is not to get busy or to ask yourself how to push through even faster. The better question is to ask yourself, what is this stuck moment asking me to see about myself? Is there a lesson that you need to learn? Is it time to pivot? Is it time to rest and just be? And maybe you need to do all three. Just remember, we do one at a time, okay? Because we are not in the business of creating a bunch of chaos and confusion for ourselves, okay? So make sure that you pause for the cause and go within. I know feeling stuck can feel uncomfortable, but really it's just a signal to go within. So grant yourself the space to actually reconnect back to yourself and figure out what this season is trying to communicate to you. And if you want to make a bold move, go ahead and tell me in the comments what area of your life you feel stuck in. Because sometimes, even just making that bold declaration that you know where you're stuck is the starting point to your transformation. So, I loved it. Oh, this was fun. I hope that you had fun and you learned a few things. Tell me in the comments what you loved the most if you're not willing to share where you're feeling stuck, because I get it. That might be a little vulnerable, but this is a safe space. And I love to connect with you and support you in the comments. So, in the meantime, I hope that you drop a comment and I will see you there. And if not, then I will see you in the next video. And make sure you're subscribed because tomorrow is going to be a really good one. It's 5 ways to know that you're still growing, even if you don't feel like it. Ooh, friend, you need that one, okay? After this, you definitely gonna need that. So subscribe and make sure that you don't miss it, and I'll see you in the next video.